Corruption has seeped to the very top of the Port Charles Police Department once before in recent history. Former co-police chief Bert Ramsey was the notorious Mr. B kingpin of a criminal syndicate attempting to take over Port Charles and extort millions from its unsuspecting citizens.
Yeah? That's yesterday's news. Why are they printing that?
Curiously enough, or perhaps not so curiously, in light of recent developments, Ramsey's co-chief at the time, Anna Devane, is now the sole head of the department.
Yeah? What's he implying? So what, I'm the sole head of the department?
Are we to believe Chief Devane knew nothing about what Ramsey and his mob buddies were plotting?
I didn't know anything about that, of course not.
If so, surely the best that can be said for Devane is she's monumentally incompetent.
What?
If you can't clean up your own backyard, how can you possibly police an entire city? Or does our latest chief, like our ex-partner, prefer the department just the way it is?
He's calling me incompetent. He's calling me crooked.
Who knew what, when, is a question relevant not only to national agencies, but local ones as well. This series will attempt to answer it about our police force with some shocking revelations, not all of which are safely buried in the past.
How do they print that trash? I never understand it.
And tell that to the thousands of people who are going to buy it and read it.
Mark Carlin. Why is he out to get me?
Why? And just how far does he intend to go?
I don't suppose there's any point in asking what the charges are.
You killed a pedestrian.
You must be
You
drinking.
ran a woman over with your car and you kept right on going.
This is ridiculous.
Didn't even have the guts to stop to see if you could help. What kind of man are you, huh?
The kind that gets hounded by cops for no reason.
Well, you haven't seen anything yet, buddy.
Yeah, well, I don't have to say a word.
He's stalling, Captain. 5 minutes alone is all I need, and I promise
Any time, but only on neutral grounds. I'm not about to let you get me in the back with a couple of your goons for a little, interrogation.
Now listen, you're going to answer the questions one way or the other. Do you want to call your lawyer first?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I need all the help I can get.
Don't think you can hide behind technicalities. I'll write new laws if I have to nail you.
Get the hell out of my face, cop.
You better get used to it, pal. Because I'm going to be up day and night until they lock you away. I might even start right now, you know that?
Frisco! You helping the man to a seat?
Yes, he was about to call his lawyer.
Go ahead. Move. What's going on here? Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is David Hunter. Let me speak to Purvis. Well, get him off the other line. This is an emergency. I've been arrested. Yeah, here in Port Charles. Local cops here are giving me a hard time. Of course it's a trumped-up charge. But these guys, one in particular, they look like they're going to do whatever they have to do to make it stick. I wouldn't put anything past this detective. Yeah, I'll hold.
What's the problem?
Frisco just brought in a hit and run suspect.
Good work.
The only problem is, Frisco's a little bit too eager to make him confess. Back off, Frisco. I mean it. If this man's guilty, then we will prove it, but I don't want you to jeopardize his case by overreacting. Do you understand?
My lawyer's on his way, and I'm not saying a word until he gets here.
Thank you very much. Please take him away.
Same.
Sir?
I'll see you again.
Frisco. Leave it out.
I gotta get going. Would you like another one of Carlin's precious little gems?
Oh, what is it now?
Lavery's dubious heroics in supposedly risking his life to expose the mob were rewarded by a far too gullible judge who barely slapped him on the wrist. Lavery was given a ridiculously short prison sentence. Why? Was it because he was a friend in high places? Like at the top of the PCPD?
Whatever happened to responsible journalism?
Oh, come on, this man does not write with a poison pen. He writes with a bazooka. Oh, it does get worse. You want to read it?
I can't believe this is happening.
Well, read it for yourself. I gotta go.
Where are you going? Don't go after Carlin.
I wouldn't dare. Because I would strangle him.
The last thing we need to do now is upset him.
Okay. See you in a while. I know, by the way, I would handle that suspect with kid gloves if I were you. The last thing your department needs right now is any more bad publicity.
March 17th, the afternoon. Where were you?
White Oaks.
That's a small community just outside Port Charles, about 5.
I know where it is, thank you.
Just trying to be helpful.
What were you doing there?
Selling lingerie. He says one word and you sue him for everything he's got.
My client is a salesman.
I just thought maybe he was modeling the merchandise.
I don't have to take that.
You take one step towards that door and I'll have another thing to charge you on.
Frisco. Please, would you sit down, Mr. Hunter? And just relax, all right? So you sell lingerie.
That's a living.
Where do you work?
Bartels.
How do we know that?
Why don't you prove I don't?
The sooner we can prove you're innocent, the sooner we will let you go, believe me.
All right, call the store. Ask for the general manager. His name is George Thomas.
I know, David, you don't want him to.
Don't want us to what?
You don't want him to get bogged down in irrelevant details.
Story of my life. Detective Jones, get me a store called Bartels. Yes, good afternoon. I hope so. This is Detective Frisco Jones at Port Charles Police Department. I need to speak to a Mr. Thomas, please. I see. Do you have a number for him? It's important. No, ma'am, I'm not selling tickets. Have him call me, will you? Tell him one of his salesmen urgently needs help with his pitch. We'll be here. Thank you. Thomas is out for the afternoon. She'll try to reach him.
I know what I'm doing.
I certainly hope so.
Well, I don't think there's any reason to continue with this until we've checked your alibi. So once we've spoken to Mr. Thomas, we'll carry on. Thank you. Would you please take him out of here?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, I'll give you half an hour.
You'll give us a half an hour?
That's right. If you haven't heard from Thomas by then, my client and I will decide how we wish to proceed.
Well, great idea. I hope you finally come up with a plan that you both can agree on.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. Thank you for your time. Hunter's alibi doesn't check out. Book him.
Yes, ma'am. This is Detective Jones. Have Wells bring the suspect back into the squad room. Thank you.
I just spoke to Mr. Thomas on the phone from White Oaks.
Uh-huh.
He can't verify the whereabouts of your client for the afternoon in question.
Looks like you were right after all, huh, Counselor? What's plan B?
Let me talk to him for a minute.
You think Purvis is trying to get him to cop a plea?
If so, Hunter doesn't look like he's taking any of it.
Look, I'm off the case. I'll see about getting him another lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
Hunter wants to talk.
Great. Bring him in.
You got it. Hello?
Wants to make a statement.
I'll be right in. Where is he?
I just sent Sam after him. He should be in a few minutes.
All right. Right. Do you want a lawyer?
I don't need one.
I don't see why you would if you're confessing.
Confessing. I can prove I didn't run over that woman.
What are you talking about?
That's right, I can prove that I was in White Oaks on the afternoon of March 17th.
How?
I got a parking ticket that day.
Oh.
Why didn't you say anything before, Mr. Hunter?
I wasn't alone. And I was afraid that if I mentioned it, you'd drag the other person in.
So what?
The other person's female, right? And if you're not married, she is. That's why you didn't want anybody to know you were together.
But we don't need to get into all of this.
Listen, I don't give a damn what you got going on the side, fella. I want to see a parking ticket right now.
I don't have it.
Well, how convenient.
I gave it to the other person. She was going to pay it. Probably already did.
Well, at least we've established the gender of the other person.
Oh, that doesn't mean I was doing anything wrong.
Adultery isn't a crime. Hit and run is. What's this other person's name?
I told you I don't want to get her involved.
You want to go to jail for manslaughter, mister?
Can't you verify this ticket some other way? You anything about anybody?
I could call the traffic court in White Oaks.
Then do it.
Of course, it doesn't open till morning.
You mean I have to spend the night here? Could I post bail?
You could go to night court.
Whatever it takes.
Of course, you have to understand that it is standard procedure for the prosecutor to ask for a high bail and for the full amount to be posted.
Which means unless you have a small fortune, you're going to have to wait until the bank's open.
In the morning? You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
You think I'm happy now? Better take a look at me after the judge pronounces you guilty.
You cops are all alike. You slap the cuffs on anybody you please, and then you throw them into your filthy cell with all sorts of sleazy characters, and then you leave them there to rot, while you take your ever-loving sweet time proving that they were innocent.
Wait, are you going to produce this parking ticket, or are you going to spend the night here with us? I want an answer.
Look,
Get this man out of here.
Ginger,
Hello, David. Oh, what, is this the other person, I presume?
I told you to keep her out of here.
This is Ginger Reed. She's a buyer for Bartels.
And also Mr. Hunter's passenger on the afternoon of March 17th.
He, told you about that?
More or less. Were you his passenger that afternoon when he got the parking ticket? And he didn't want you to come forward because you're married, right?
Yes. My husband wouldn't understand, you know. If he ever found out I was seeing David, I don't suppose there's any chance of keeping this out of the papers.
I wanted Ginger to come down here all along, but Sir Galahad wouldn't hear of it. So when it was apparent that things were getting a little rough for him, I decided to take it upon myself to persuade her to cooperate.
I did not need your help. These cops don't have a thing on me.
Well, they certainly don't now, do they? I assume that my client is free to go.
Like
No,
Kelly is.
absolutely not. Not until we have some concrete evidence. I'm not about to let a manslaughter suspect walk out of here just because of some uncorroborated statement.
Well, is this concrete enough?
It's a parking ticket.
Yeah,
Fortunately, Ginger hadn't paid it yet.
it's legitimate. It's made out to his car.
I don't believe this.
Time and the place here. Time and the date. He was illegally parked in a red zone in White Oaks when Tanya was hit. I'm sorry, Frisco. Your client is free to go.
Let him go altogether?
Yes! You heard what the man said. We don't have enough to hold him. He couldn't possibly have committed this hit and run. Times are wrong.
Like I've maintained all along. Let's get out of here. Oh, apology accepted, Hotshot. Only the next time you want to play Sherlock Holmes, you let the big boys make the arrest.
I'll see you in the morning.
Frisco, wait. Listen. I know it's no consolation, but I understand how you feel. However, look, that doesn't excuse you going off the deep end. Now, if you can't keep your head on this one and pursue the investigation objectively, I have to get someone who can.
I'm sorry. Won't happen again.
Get some rest. We'll start again tomorrow at square one, all right? Dear, I felt so sorry for Frisco. He'd set his heart on nailing this suspect, you know.
Perhaps that was the problem. Maybe he should have let his head lead him and not his heart.
No, I spoke to him about that, too.
But then again, I'm the last one who can give advice. You know, the way I feel, I'd like to get out and separate Mark Carlin from his word processor and process a little sense into him personally.
And give him even more ammunition against us. Just forget about Carlin, will you?
How can I? He's zeroing in on you, the woman I love, and I'm responsible for that.
Oh, she forgives you. Besides, she can take care of herself.
I still can't work out what I did to deserve such a gorgeous, courageous...
More?
Oh, just a stunning woman.
Come on. You lucked out, I guess, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So, didn't you?
Oh, go away. Not you. What do you want? Yes, I'm coming. Hello?
Chief Devane,
Yes, this is she. Who's this?
a disgusted citizen. Do all of us a favor and get the hell out of the police force. You're as corrupt as the criminals you pretend to protect us from. You're the one who should be behind bars.
Who was that?
Oh, it was the wrong number. It was very wrong.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, this is Mark Carlin. Sorry I'm not here right now. If you'd like to leave a message, please wait for the tone. Thanks.
Mr. Carlin, this is the source of your hottest scoop. Watch yourself. You've gone too far.
Any chance of us picking up where we left off?
I'm not in the mood.
Oh, dear. I've never known a woman to be turned off by a wrong number.
Dave's been a wrong number.
Yeah, courtesy of Mark Carlin.
We'll manage though, won't we? We've still got each other, right? Right?
Yeah. Are you kidding? Do you think some stupid newspaper article's going to change that?
No. It'll take more than that.
I'll get it this time.
No. No, I want to get it. Yes.
Tramp.
No.
Not again.
You're a hunch, you're a cop. You can do what you like. You're no better than a common streetwalker. In fact, you're worse. At least they don't pretend to something they're not.
How did you get my number? Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, I wish we'd never met.
Don't
It would have been
say
better for
that.
both of us.
Don't ever
you
say
see what they're trying to do? They're trying to tear us apart.
That will never happen. Just you hang tough, Anna Devane. The one thing we can't afford to give up is the one thing they cannot take from us. Do you understand that? That is our love. Now, with that, we can survive anything.